Exercise 1, page 107. 1.
In her early or mid-late teens, 30s, 60s, etc.
2.
Curly hair, straight hair, wavy hair, ponytail, shaven head.
3.
Casually dressed, smartly dressed.
4.
Pale complexion, dark-skinned complexion, tanned complexion.
5.
Bushy eyebrows, thin eyebrows, plucked eyebrows.
6.
Rosy cheeks, chubby cheeks.
7.
Square face, oval face, round face.
8.
Goatee, full beard.
Exercise 2, page 107. 1.
C. Kind-hearted, caring.
2.
A. Ambitious, eager.
3.
D. Fun-loving, outgoing.
4.
B. Introverted, shy.
5.
F. Efficient, organized.
6.
G. Trustworthy, reliable.
7.
E. Moody, ill-tempered.
8.
H. Rude, impolite.
6A. Changes. Exercise 1A, page 108. 1.
Have a facelift.
2.
Get hair highlighted.
3.
Shave head, grow a beard.
4.
Have a tattoo. Have ears pierced.
5.
Pluck eyebrows.
6.
Lose weight.
Exercise 2, page 108.
'You are what you think you are.' Two teenagers, Joe and Kate, are standing in front of the mirrors, getting ready for school. Joe thinks to himself, "I'm too skinny. Why aren't I tall and muscular? It's not fair. And look at those spots. I look really awful." A little inner voice tells Kate, "You're fat and ugly in these jeans. Your legs should be longer, and your hair's horrible, all curly and frizzy. No one will look at you twice." If these thoughts sound familiar, that's because Joe and Kate are far from being alone. It's very common for teenagers to have a negative image of their own bodies. They insist they are hopelessly ugly, no matter how much their parents and friends tell them otherwise. Magazine problem pages and internet blogs are full of agonized accounts. The young people who write them are convinced they are unattractive and therefore unloved and rejected by others. Why do teenagers see themselves in an unflattering way? The fact is, puberty has a lot to do with it. During your early teens, the body is preparing itself for adulthood. New chemicals are moving around the body as it adjusts to adult hormone levels. The body alters its shape, sometimes resulting in puppy fat. Skin problems such as acne are also common. Teens are affected psychologically too. They become confused and anxious about their changing appearance. This, in turn, can lead to feelings of insecurity and low self-esteem. Nor is the situation helped by the media. Young people are bombarded with images of the ideal body. Top fashion models in glossy magazines are all far taller and skinnier than the average woman. They have their hair and makeup done professionally. After a fashion shoot, magazine editors have the photographs airbrushed before they are published to give the models a flawless complexion. Male actors in epic films flex beautifully toned, rippling muscles, but more than likely, they have had them digitally enhanced or photoshopped, as they call it in the trade. Not to mention the fact that many celebrities choose to have cosmetic surgery done to enhance their appearance. None of this reflects a realistic body image, so it's no wonder adolescents are made to feel inadequate and unsure of themselves. The good news is that, however dissatisfied you are with your looks, the chances are it's only temporary. Those extra kilos and that spotty skin usually disappear by themselves in time. While your body is sorting itself out and settling into its final form, you need to ride out the change. Resist the temptation to compare yourself with your peers. This is easier said than done when you are the tallest girl in your class or the only boy who has started growing a beard. You tend to feel the odd one out and may even get teased or bullied. Just remember that although teens' bodies change at different speeds, everyone ends up at more or less the same place in the end. It's important to realize what things you can change about yourself and what things you can't. Correct diet and exercise can do wonders for your appearance. Having your hair restyled, your nails manicured, or your teeth whitened will also help boost your self-confidence. The things you can't alter, like your height or your shoe size, should be seen as strengths and not weaknesses. They are, after all, the features that make you a unique individual. So don't be like Joe and Kate. Stop worrying so much about the way you look and learn to accept yourself as you are. Tell yourself you are just as attractive, intelligent, and cool as the next person. If you feel good about yourself, the chances are other people will feel good about you too.
Six B. Negative personality types. Exercise 1, page 110. 1.
N. A gossip is someone who enjoys talking about other people.
2.
D. A bully is someone who likes hurting others.
3.
I. A whinger is someone who complains about everything.
4.
L. A killjoy is someone who stops others enjoying themselves.
5.
H. A snob is someone who thinks they're better than others.
6.
B. A troublemaker is someone who likes to cause problems.
7.
C. A scatterbrain is someone who is easily disorganized.
8.
K. A know-it-all is someone who thinks they know more than others.
9.
G. A chatterbox is someone who just won't stop talking.
10.
M. A big head is someone who thinks they are very important.
11.
F. A drama queen is someone who exaggerates their emotions.
12.
E. A party animal is someone who loves having a good time.
13.
O. A nosy Parker is someone who pries into other people's business.
14.
J. A bossy boots is someone who is always telling others what to do.
15.
A. A steamroller is someone who walks all over others.
Exercise 2, page 110.
Dealing with difficult people. The gossip might seem harmless, but when they're talking about you, it can be extremely upsetting and embarrassing. Gossips take great delight in passing on bad news. Did you hear about poor? They are not that worried about the truth either. As long as it sounds good, they're more than willing to pass the story on, usually exaggerating it in the process. The gossip will often try to find out what you know in order to tell someone else later on, but avoid getting involved. If necessary, be direct. Sorry, I'm just not interested in gossip. Gossip usually dies down quickly when no one wants to listen or contribute. The steamroller can be very hostile and aggressive, and will walk all over you without a second thought. They may shout, make threats, and even physically intimidate their victims to get what they want. It is essential to be calm when dealing with a steamroller so that they don't get even angrier. Don't shout back or appear scared or nervous, as this is what they want, for you to be afraid of them. Let the steamroller see that you take them seriously, even admit they may have a point, but be assertive and firmly state your case. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself and not back down. The know-it-all, thinks they know it all. They can have valuable opinions to offer, but the problem is they can't stand being wrong. The know-it-all tends to dominate conversations and often tries to make other people feel small because of their lack of knowledge. One way to deal with these kinds of people is not to get involved in whatever they are talking about. Stay neutral, or admit to seeing both sides of an issue. Don't forget that the most important thing for know-it-alls is winning an argument. If they try to drag you into one, let them know that you couldn't care less about winning. They'll soon get bored if they can't show off. The whinger complains about absolutely everything. It doesn't matter how trivial or bizarre the complaint. The ice cream was far too cold. The whinger will go on and on about it, as if it's the end of the world. They see the downside of everything and dismiss every solution you come up with. The problem is that, deep down, they love moaning. One way to handle a whinger is to agree with them completely. You're absolutely right. I don't know how you put up with it all. Whingers often just want a little bit of sympathy. Once they get it, they should complain less. Okay, they might complain less. No matter what you do, you cannot get a word in edgeways. The chatterbox talks on and on and on. These people are sociable and often have big hearts, but they don't listen to what you have to say, and as a result, it's impossible to get anything done around them. Try taking control by interrupting them firmly and saying something like, "Wait a minute, let me ask you a question about that." You can also try listening to these people for a while. After all, they may just be lonely, and then say with a smile, "Okay, well, nice talking to you, but I really have to get back to this now," and hope they get the message. When a drama queen stubs a toe, it's a life-threatening injury. But when they find a plaster, it's as if they've won an Oscar. They exaggerate everything that happens to them and share it with the world through tears of pain and joy. The thing to do is react as little as possible. By taking an interest in their latest triumph or tragedy, you're just encouraging them to keep blowing things out of proportion.
Exercise 5, page 112.
Hacker. The haka originates from the native inhabitants of New Zealand, the Maori people. It is a very physical dance with chants, which were traditionally performed as war cries. Nowadays, it is performed to welcome important guests, to recognise great achievements, and simply to entertain. If you ever watch New Zealand playing rugby, you will also see the team, the All Blacks, performing the haka. They do this to show respect to past and present players, the supporters, and New Zealand, and to scare their opponents. The All Blacks performed their first haka in 1888 in Britain, but it is now recognised all over the world. The dancers imagine that their body is an orchestra in which their hands, feet, legs, body, voice, tongue, and eyes all represent musical instruments. The haka involves a lot of powerful body movements, slapping your hands on your body showing the whites of your eyes, pukana, sticking out your tongue, wetero, and stamping your feet. Imagine a tribe of Maoris doing all this holding weapons while preparing to go into battle. The Maori people perform in a traditional outfit called a kakahu. The costume is made up of a grass skirt and a belt with unique engravings. The Maori people are also famous for their tattoos, or tamok, which cover their faces, making this dance look even more ferocious. The most well-known haka is called kamate. The story goes that the most feared tribal chief, Te Raparaha, was fleeing from his enemies. As he was greatly outnumbered, he hid in a pit protected by another chief and his wife. The chant below is about the moment the enemy tribe passed near the pit to look for him and his thoughts switched between living and dying. The hairy man is the chief who hid him and made sure he saw the sun again. It is said that he came up with his chant while in hiding and that he performed it as soon as he returned to his village. Now the kamate is performed as a celebration of the triumph of life over death.
6D, Everyday English. Exercise 2A, page 113.
I'm calling to see if I can rearrange my dance lesson. I'm sorry to hear that. What time was your lesson supposed to be? When would you like to rearrange it for? I'm afraid that time isn't available. Could you make it on Saturday the 11th at 10 a.m?
Exercise 2B, page 113.
Good morning, Swan Lake Dance Studios.
Oh, hello. This is Fiona Simpson. I'm calling to see if I can rearrange my dance lesson. I twisted my ankle yesterday morning, and it's painful to walk on today.
I'm sorry to hear that. What time was your lesson supposed to be?
It was supposed to be at 5:30 p.m. today. It's a private flamenco dancing lesson with Laura.
Okay. When would you like to rearrange it for?
How about Thursday next week at the same time? My ankle should be fine by then.
I'm afraid that time isn't available. Could you make it on Saturday the 11th at 10 a.m?
Yes, that should be fine.
Okay, so see you on the 11th.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Exercise 4, page 113. 1,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
2,
Oh no, that's awful.
3,
That's such a shame.
4,
I really hope things get better soon.
5.
Oh dear.
6E. Body talk. Exercise 1A, page 114. One,
Scratch your head.
2,
Raise your eyebrows.
3,
Wrinkle your nose.
4,
Show your teeth.
5,
Look right and bite your nails.
6,
Cover your mouth.
7,
Frown.
8.
Open your eyes and mouth wide.
Exercise 2, page 114.
Liar, liar. Craig smiles confidently and answers yes to the question while rubbing the back of his ear. The interviewer continues to ask him questions about his CV. Darren Stanton is sitting quietly next to the interviewer throughout the interview. Mr. Stanton says nothing, but intensely studies Craig as he answers each question. Little does Craig know, but he has been hired by the company to tell them when interviewees are lying. After Craig has left, Mr. Stanton points out which of his answers were lies and which were truthful. By analysing Craig's body language, such as when he rubs his ear, he is able to distinguish between lies and the truth. Stanton, now known as the human lie detector, picked up these skills during the time he was working as a forensic psychologist and a police officer. Studies have shown that in an average 10-minute conversation, people tell at least 3 lies. Our bodies give off a mixture of subconscious signals and signs, which cannot be concealed even by the most clever of liars. According to Stanton, most of these lies are told to avoid hurting someone's feelings or in awkward situations. They are simply a part of human nature. If this is true, what can the average person do to know if they are being spun a yarn? Mr. Stanton gives his top tips for spotting a fibber in action. Look me in the eye, but not for too long. It is often said that liars are unable to look you straight in the eye. This can be true, and they may rub their eyes, for instance, to avoid eye contact. But it may surprise you to know that really good liars often overcompensate by maintaining eye contact longer than normal in order to convince you they're telling the truth. If they hold eye contact for longer than 6 seconds, be suspicious about what they are telling you. Busy hands. While telling a lie, people often instinctively use their hands to touch their faces, scratch their heads, or cover their mouths, which show their discomfort. Sometimes they will even hold an object in front of them, such as a book, to create a subconscious barrier to hide behind. Stalling for time. When faced with a question a person doesn't want to tell the truth about, they often mirror or repeat the language of the person asking the question, so as to buy time to think. For instance, If a truthful person is asked, "Did you go to the cinema instead of studying?" they will reply, "No, I didn't." Whereas a liar, having no time to think, will mirror the question by saying, "No, I didn't go to the cinema instead of studying." There may also be an increase in the number of ums and ahs they use, again showing that they are thinking while talking. Right or left-handed. Whether a person is right-handed or left-handed also plays a role when telling lies. Right-handed people tend to look right when lying, while left-handed people tend to look left. Face-to-face. Most liars will have a telltale sign on their face, such as going as white as a sheet or the exact opposite, blushing. Such changes are subconscious responses to stress brought on by lying. Also look out for micro-expressions, little nervous twitches or muscle spasms around the eyes, cheeks or neck, which flash across people's faces, giving away their true emotions. Someone may be smiling at you, for example, but suddenly you spot their eyelids, eyebrows, and the corners of their mouths drooping. This could mean they are actually feeling sad. Be warned though, micro-expressions last for less than a second, so they're really tricky to spot. Above all, trust your instincts. If you think someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, you're probably right. Having said that, don't take things too far. Your friend might scratch their head while they're talking to you, but maybe it's just itchy.
Exercise 5, page 115. One.
We asked our neighbours to keep an eye on our house while we were on holiday.
2.
Don't let Tom pull the wool over your eyes. Ask him where he really was last night.
3.
Just before her wedding, Jane started to get cold feet.
4.
Can I give you a hand with the housework?
5.
I'm not really a police officer. I'm just pulling your leg.
6.
Thanks for listening to my problem. I just needed to get it off my chest.
6F. Animal talk. Exercise 4, page 117. 1.
A herd of cows. A herd of elephants.
2.
A swarm of wasps. A swarm of bees.
3.
A shoal of fish.
4.
A flock of birds. A flock of sheep.
5.
A litter of puppies. A litter of kittens.
6.
A pride of lions.
7.
A pod of dolphins.
8.
A colony of ants.
9.
A pack of dogs. A pack of wolves.
Exercise 8, page 117.
Do you speak Dolphinese? Dr. Denise Herzing knows the names of all the members of the pod of wild spotted dolphins she studies. She knows who the grandparents are and when their grandchildren were born. She recognizes scars on flippers and can remember when the wounds first appeared. When the dolphins appear, she mimics their behavior by swimming upside down to say hello. She is very familiar with each individual dolphin. This isn't surprising, as she has shared 27 summers off the Florida coast and has had over 2,600 encounters with dolphins. She has spent more time with dolphins than anyone else on Earth. But this is still not enough for Denise.
I want to know what they're thinking,
she says. In fact, Denise has already spent years experimenting with communicating with the dolphins. But her greatest wish is that one day, very soon, the dolphins will be able to speak back and tell her what's on their minds. Dolphins have the second most evolved brain on the planet after the human race. And they are highly sociable and intelligent and remarkably skilled at problem solving. They live in a complex society in which, together with friends and relatives, they raise their young, share responsibilities, and resolve conflicts. So clever are these aquatic mammals that they can understand up to 200 human words, using gestures and symbols, and even the difference between a statement and a question. So far, however, attempts to talk with dolphins have been mostly one way.
Many studies ask dolphins to respond to human commands, using fish as a reward, but rarely do we ask dolphins to seek something from us,
says Dr. Herzing. Denise knows that it won't be easy to get dolphins to speak to us. Both the vocal cords of humans and dolphins and the sounds they produce are extremely different. Dolphins communicate with whistles, clicks, and other sounds, some of which are too high frequency for humans to make out.
They live in a sensory world we can only imagine, full of different sounds, sights, and tastes,
Dr. Herzing explains. Her elegant solution, therefore, was to come up with a new, simple language that both humans and dolphins could share. Her latest experiment involves a small waterproof computer that divers will wear, called CHAT, Cetacean, Hearing, and Telemetry. It will send out one of 8 signals that correspond to something in the undersea world, seaweed, for example. The computer will listen to see if the dolphins mimic the signals. After the system has learnt dolphin, all the sounds the dolphins make will then be put through the computer, which will try to work out patterns in them in order to decode the vocabulary and grammar of dolphinese. Then scientists can learn how to reply with dolphin-like signals themselves. This underwater translator is only at the trial stage at the moment, but if it is successful, it could have a huge impact. Not only would it delight marine biologists such as Denise Herzing, but it may be possible to adapt the system to enable two-way communication with other animal species too. Scientists working at SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, have also expressed a lot of interest in the device. They hope that CHAT could be used to make contact with life in distant galaxies. Herzing says that her research
may be our best training ground for exploring the cosmos for other life. Because if we can't understand life on this planet, then there is no hope for our exploration of the galaxy.
Scientists like Denise Herzing hope that it's only a matter of time before we can speak to dolphins. The only question is, what on earth are they going to say to us?
(6G) Skills. Exercise 1A, page 118.
Not allow the other person to speak.
Be argumentative and aggressive. Put your foot in it. Say the wrong thing. Interrupt the speaker. Not make eye contact. Talk down to someone. Not pay attention. Talk too fast. Get tongue-tied. Not know what to say. Have negative body language, e.g., scratch, fidget, crack your knuckles. Insist on your own way. Talk too loudly.
Exercise 3, page 118.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming today. My name is Brendan Scott, and I have over 15 years of experience in communication management. Now, unfortunately, it isn't always easy to get on with other people, but when we do have disagreements, if we learn to communicate with each other better, we'll sort out our differences much faster and much more easily. So, today, I'm here to talk to you about some communication techniques that you can try using when you are involved in a conflict with someone. Now, the best type of communication involves a lot of listening. Lots of people think that they are listening, when really they are thinking about what they are going to say next. A really good thing to do after someone has finished speaking is to repeat what they said back to them. That way, they know that you are paying attention to them, and will be more willing to listen to you when you start explaining your point of view. Another good tip is to use I messages. What this means is saying things like, I feel unhappy and frustrated when this happens, rather than, you're wrong. If you always blame the other person, they may feel attacked and become angry and defensive, and this will not help you sort out your differences. A common mistake is not taking responsibility for your own mistakes. Don't be afraid to say, I know you only acted like that because I was being unreasonable. This shows maturity and often encourages the other person to be kinder and admit their mistakes too. As a result, you begin to understand each other a bit better. Remember that the best solutions are often a compromise. It's not about winning an argument, but making sure you are both happy with the outcome. Thank you very much for listening to me today, and I hope my suggestions help next time you have a disagreement with someone.
(6H) Curricula, Science. Exercise 1, page 119.
Nature speaks. Gorillas stick out their tongues to show anger. Horses rub noses as a sign of affection. And dogs stretch their front legs out in front of them and lower their bodies when they want to play. Wildlife may not literally speak, but communicate in some pretty amazing ways. Bees. May I have this dance? Bees make a series of dance-like movements to communicate the quality and location of food. If a food source is near the hive, a circular dance is performed. A tail-wagging dance in a figure-of-8 movement indicates that it is more than 80 meters away. Plants, silent communicators. It might seem that what all plants do is grow leaves and look pretty, but many types of trees and plants send out chemical signals in order to communicate with other trees and plants, and even with animals. For example, when invaded by caterpillars, corn and cotton plants send chemical messages that attract the caterpillar's worst enemies, wasps. Various trees also send out warning signals to other trees when attacked by fungi and insects. Ants, masters of organization. Imagine organizing thousands of people without saying a word. Ants have up to 20 different chemicals in the many glands in their tiny bodies. Depending on which chemical they release, they can signal alarm, invite friends to eat, or even organize a military campaign to attack an enemy. Also, if an ant finds a pile of crumbs, it rubs its antennae and front legs on its neighbour to pass on the good news. Ants may be small, but they certainly have plenty to say. Cuttlefish. Say it with your skin. This sea animal has the world's best camouflage skills. Sacs of colour under its skin, which are controlled by its nervous system, allow it to change the colour, pattern, and even texture of its skin in seconds when it has something to say. A zebra pattern on a male cuttlefish, for example, warns other males to stay away. Cuttlefish put on an amazing display of colours and even lights to attract their prey or hide from predators. Whatever the message, the cuttlefish says it with quite a show.
Skills Practice 6. Exercise 2, page 123. A.
I just can't stand her.
Why? What is wrong with her?
She is a gossip and a total drama queen.
Oh, come on. Drink your coffee and forget about her.
I think I need another one, actually. Can you call the waiter?
Actually, I think we should be going. I've got my dental appointment soon.
All right, let's go.
B.
Good evening, how can I help?
Hi. Do you have any programs to help lose weight?
Yes, of course. We have a great program with an instructor who will advise you and go through all the exercises. You will have use of all the exercise machines, as well as a sauna and a swimming pool.
How much is it?
If you become a member, it is included in the price. That's £59 a month.
C.
Hi, Sheila. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
Great, thanks. Now, what would you like done this time, Sheila?
I'm fed up of the way I look. So I was thinking of getting some highlights.
Oh, all right then. Good idea. Have a seat and Jane will take care of you in a second.
D.
Hello, how can I help?
I'm afraid I've got a terrible toothache.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, I can't stand the pain any longer. I was wondering if you could see me now, or if I need to make an appointment.
Sure, have a seat and I'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Oh, thank you ever so much.